Ever died to enrage on a boss? Let's change that, because today I'm going to tell you how to improve your DPS. So today we're going to dive into a few tips and tricks you can do to optimize your DPS and get better shiny numbers if you want them, or simply do better for your own sake. I'm going to divide this guide into 3 parts, which is beginner, intermediate, and advanced. This way you can check whichever level you're at and apply these tricks to be better. So starting off in the beginner section, first and probably most obvious one, pick a job that you enjoy. And when I say enjoy, I don't just mean aesthetics, I mean how it plays. Whether you're more into a DPS or support, melee or ranged, whatever you feel is the most comfortable for you will most of the time be the right choice. Next, make sure you have a comfortable keybind setup or controller setup, making you able to perform combos and use cooldowns with ease, as this will be your bread and butter for doing DPS. So to get started with the beginner basics, if you're playing a melee DPS, you want to read the tooltips on your abilities to figure out your positionals. Positional makes the skill in question deal extra potency when performed at either the target's rear, determined by the open hole in their hitbox, or the target's flank, which is the section on the back and corners all the way up to the arrows on the side. You will learn the different positionals in your combo actions as you go along pressing your shiny buttons. If you're a ranged player, specifically a caster, learn your cast times and read the tooltips for eventual dots to track or ways to cast safely at your target. And if you're fist range, wing it. You're free. And moving on to more intermediate tips to increase your DPS, check out a guide for your job. Check the opener and figure out the basic core rotation. I would recommend going to the Balance Discord, which is linked in the description below, to find all kinds of mentors to help you with both visual guides and also great images of spell priorities, loops, best in slot gear, materia melds, and you name it. At this stage you'll want to look at what materials your job benefits the most from. So at this level you should also learn to slide cast if you're a caster, and learn to utilize max melee position if you're playing a melee. Slide casting is a technique more advanced players use to move seamlessly at the end of their cast, making sure the spell still gets sent while being able to move during the animation. As for max melee, just find how far away as possible you can hit the boss. This will be utilized in a lot of content, as a lot of bosses and enemies will leave the max melee position safe without you having to sacrifice any uptime. So you've checked the guides, you materialed your gear, you've learned how to max melee and slide cast, and you're flying for your opener and rotation. So what's next? Well, the next step in improving your DPS is to start analyzing other people. You will need to drop the ego for this one, as it will require you to go on, for example, FFXIV to check what the people playing your job is doing differently from you. For example, which opener do they use for which encounter? Do they hold a cooldown? Do they delay a burst window? The key to improving is to take knowledge from people who are currently better than yourself. Analyze your own logs, compare, check the ability count chart. All of these things will give you a much deeper knowledge about your job and how to approach each encounter, whether it has forced downtime or force you out of melee range. If you apply all of the things mentioned in this video, then you will start seeing bigger and shinier numbers in no time. But the biggest and most crucial tip to improve your DPS is practice. Practice makes perfect. Speaking of practice, do you have any DPS gaining tips that I may have left out, or do you feel like DPS isn't too important to you? Comment down below. I've been Vermillions, and I'll see you next time. Also, you get a 2-minute burst window when you subscribe. Bye.